All right, it is about 3:30 in the morning. Have not really been to bed yet. Been watching one system. Several weeks ago, we posted a video of us putting a chief trap between two major peanut fields and a clear cut. A little patch of woods there that we've had a bait site at just to feed her on the camera for years. Been on this property for years and years and years. But recently, due to a clear cut and some changes in the property with cattle and fencing, we had to move our trap. So we've got a bait site basically between two major crop fields. We're being planted in peanuts. We had to move our trap right before planting season, kind of off a little ways, not too far, but kind of still in the vicinity. It's kind of hard to explain, but basically we were kind of struggling on like where we need to put this trap. So hogs basically got pushed in on us, which is very normal during planting season. They were going to our bait site, which is not a trap. So we brought a chief trap in and just planted it next to it. The peanuts actually came up. There was a little bit of thermal work done, but the peanuts actually came up and the pressure was off. We went ahead and left the chief trap in play. We went on vacation. We usually take our vacation right after planting season, family vacation, which is rock crawling, dirt biking, Jeep rock crawling, whitewater rafting, mountain biking, anything you can think of. So we left tired, came back more tired, and here we are. Last night was our first night back, trap 22, and we're headed out right now. Basically flipped the switch in the chief trap. We're looking at, our number's been like 18, 19. I say with a little bit of hesitation because we've seen it like 7 at night, like it'll be 7 and then all of a sudden it jumps back up to 19 and kind of all over, but it's kind of stabilized. It's been stabilized in the last couple of days, been monitoring it while we were on vacation. A friend of ours who also works for us part-time while we're on vacation, he went up and did some heavy baiting for us. So long story short, we flipped the switch. The beauty of it is that there is a little pocket of woods, maybe a quarter acre, if that. Thermal work is pretty good now because it's all been clear cutted around it. So we'll be able to slip in there with the thermal and do our thing. I'm not sure if Zeb is going with me or not. Wyatt and the bride, AKA the boss, are out of town on a baseball game. I may get Zeb up and I may not. I mean, he's pretty tired too, from what some would call not a vacation, more of a, a lot of energy expelled on our vacations. So that being said, I've already got the Tacoma loaded, I got the Recon loaded, rifles, everything's loaded, and we're fixing to jump in there and buzz up there. It's about 20 miles, and then hit the ground and get it all done before daylight. And so the barber was a big help tonight, early this morning, helping us just count and analyze and flip the switch. So, not super tired, just ready to get this last group knocked out, and then we've got basically about 4 groups that are building. We just haven't flipped the switch on them yet because we're trying to see where we're at. So that being said, hang on, here we go. All right, we are just getting on property here. It's almost 4 a.m. One thing I wanted to say that I didn't say earlier was when you're dealing with these live video cameras, most of them are on a 90-degree lens. So they have a very wide viewpoint, which is advantageous for trapping. You can see almost the whole entire trap. The disadvantage of it is it gives what they call a fisheye effect. Fisheye effect, it distorts the image of the hog depending on which way they turn. For some of you might be like, well, why does that matter? Well, it matters for hog identification. When we're trying to figure out the group, we've got 5 adults, we've got, 4 babies and blah, 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 whatever. Hog turns a certain way, it looks a certain way. So last night, I don't know what time it was, but when we dropped on this group of 22, we hesitated for a little bit. The barber and I were on the phone, we're watching, the feeds. We got the outside camera, we got the live video camera, we're doing everything. We're like, whoa, wait a second, something looks a little different here. But then they turn a certain way and you're like, okay, yeah, that's that boar. The YagerPro Ice camera or the Mine texting camera It's a 45-degree lens, so it doesn't distort the image. Hog identification is easier for us on that. And again, a lot of people might be like, well, what's the big deal? The big deal is that if we don't sharpen up what we're doing, we're just only making these suckers smarter and smarter and smarter. And it is tough. I mean, it's just getting harder and harder out here to trap hogs. What's unusual to me is the chief trap, which is technically called the closure, but the chief trap, most hogs, when the gate goes down, the hogs will gravitate right towards that gate because they know that's where it went wrong for them. The chief trap is, it's the largest drop trap in the world. Well, it's the same thing. They kind of pick a section that they like to come in on, and when that chief trap goes down, that's where they go. They know where they entered it at, and you'd think, well, that the whole thing was open, but they're still going to go to that spot. So anyway, for some of you might be like, well, you need to get a life. Maybe I do. So we're going to park it. The beauty of trapping the same property over and over again, year after year, we've been on this property for at least 5 years. We know it. So that's helpful for safety. Going in, we know where, the trees, cattle, everything. We know where everything's at. And so that way when you're looking at going in with the thermal, we know where there's things that could go really wrong for us. Like I'm fixing to straddle this big old mud hole that's always here. And that's kind of how, it's helpful to be on the same property, because when you're going in and you're shooting, you got to think about what's on the other side. It's dark out here, and you may not know that, typically there's a tractor park there, or an irrigation system, or a fuel tank, or, whatever case may be. So, anyway, so that being said, hang on. I did not wake up Zeb. I just felt bad for him. He went to bed about 10:30, and he's like, Daddy, just wake me up and, tell me when to go. And, there'll be plenty of days where that kid's going to have to get up and do what I've done most of my adult life, and it is what it is. And so it's fine. It'll just take me a little bit longer to do what we got to do. So hang on, I'm hitting the big red button. All right, so we're ready to go. So basically the trap is that way. The wind is perfect, but what we've got to do is we've got to kind of go down along this one crop field, traps out in a clear cut, and then kind of circle around. We can't shoot that direction. We can't shoot into the wind. So we're gonna do a lot of thermal work, ease along, check out this crop field, little peanut field, and then circle kind of around. And if we have to shoot anything that's outside the trap, we're gonna be shooting into some woods, not towards some structures. Not residential structures, not commercial structures. It's just some barns and stuff like that we don't need those problems. But the wind is perfect for us slipping up. She'll be able to do some good thermal work, and there you go. So can't get much better than this. So as I say, hang on, because here we go. All right, it's almost 5 o'clock. Been over it for about an hour doing thermal work. We're only about 50 yards from the trap. We got a really bright light over here. That's from our farmers, barns and stuff. The light, you wouldn't think that light would be that bright, but it's bright out here. So far, nothing, absolutely nothing. We're going to slip a little bit closer, keep running the thermal, and then go ahead and approach the trap. Wind is perfect. Hang on. All right, we're about 20 yards from the trap. They haven't smelled me, but they heard me. They started bumping the panels a little bit. They're calm back down now, but nothing outside the trap. So we're gonna go ahead and ease on in. This is probably gonna get a little stupid, to be honest. Even though it's the largest drop trap in the world, it's still not as big as a 33-foot diameter Jagger Pro. So we always approach on the gate side, but there's no gate side here. Just hang on, it's gonna be dark for a little bit, because I want to try to keep this as calm as we can on them. All right, there we go. Hey, fellas. Y'all ate a lot of peanuts this year. Boy, look at the mud on them. So as I was saying earlier, part of the live video, which is up there, see it? It's the 90-degree lens, so it kind of distorts the image. Typically, even on a live video drop trap like this, we're going to run an external camera like we do on all of our other trapping systems, but we didn't here. We were in a hurry. But anyway, threw this trap up really quick. So over there is a gigantic, I guess that's a word, gigantic peanut field. We had to move our Jägerpro trap kind of back through that way. And then of course this is all a clear cut. And then over here is the field that I sneaked up along, which is a great big peanut field. And then I came across this clear cut. Now, if I would have saw a hog in a peanut field, I wouldn't have shot it. Some of you may have trouble understanding that. What I'm trying to do is keep any hogs from getting near this trap and getting educated. So we're confident, you know, that we're good. No hogs, you know, we're outside the trap. We didn't, you know, didn't see anything on the camera. And then I've been up here for an hour doing thermal work, just scanning all this here. So we'll try to get a little bit closer. You can see here that they've moved this trap, and that's not unusual. These are some fairly decent sized hogs. The trap will go right back to its shape once we lift it back up. I'll just ease up here kind of easy. I can get a little bit better look at these guys. We say this in other videos, if you come at them easy, they'll generally come at you easy. No point in getting this all fired up. There we go. Well, it looks like they're all the same color. Hey, fellas. So, definitely, oh, there's one pooping. Hey, bud, we're doing a video. Can you wait? So anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and put them down, and we'll give you some more footage. But these are our peanut eaters. So, of course, the peanuts are up right now, so they're not really doing much damage to the peanuts. Any neighboring cornfields, corn's making ears, so this is a problem. But, so if you're wondering here, normally we shoot from the gate side. There's no gate. What we found, our own personal opinion is, we'll actually get up on the panels and shoot. You got your 3 arms coming across. I'm showing you with the flashlight. A lot of steel in this trap. You got a steel center post. We prefer to get up on the panels and then shoot straight down. That's just the way that we do it. So with that being said, y'all hang on. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful morning here in South Georgia. About 5 o'clock, 80 degrees. And just really excited to take this group down. Wish we could have did it before peanut season, but we didn't know they existed. They got pushed in here. So that being said, hang on. All right, so they're all down for good. Went ahead and crawled inside the trap here. Anytime you get inside one of these traps, you know, let's confirm they're all down for good. And even if you think you know they're confirmed down for good, don't get in here without some type of weapon. I don't care if it's a pocket knife. Just get in here with some kind of weapon. Our policy, myself and the boys, full mag, ready to go. Whatever that full mag is, we just need it ready to go. I'm not saying this because, you know, this trap was designed by Chris with Southern Hog Control. Chris is a friend. He's a Jägerpro dealer like we are. I'm not saying it because he designed it. I just can't imagine using a drop trap any smaller than this. That's just me personally. I can't imagine anything smaller than this. I'm glad that he designed one so big, but anything smaller than this, I wouldn't have anything to do with it. It's just hard, you know, to put them down in a tight configuration. All right, so very nice sow right here. She is grown. This farm seems to always produce really really good hogs. You got to watch your head in here. So we've got decent sized boar, decent cutters on him, and then and I just hit my head, dang it. And I told y'all not to hit your head. Little boar there. This guy right here, this boar right here, he went down hard. I mean, it was, I don't know what was going on inside him, but he went down really hard. I felt bad for him. Another boar here, soon to be sow. Little boar there, sow. Another decent sized boar. He's got some decent cutters on him there now. Then we got another little boar right here. I'm not sure. Sometimes they just curl up and die like that. Looks like it's probably a sow. Little boar. Ow. Hit my head again. Another boar. Sow. Sow. Little boar. Sow. Soon to be sow. And another sow. So we'll do a count here because I don't think I can count and do it at the same time. And let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right, so we ended up with 20. We had 20 a couple times, and then it was staying in that 19 range. Really hard with the little guys. We talk about this in other videos. With the little guys, it's hard to count them. You're counting the adults, trying to count the little ones. We had 20, seemed to be more 19, but we knew we're in that range. So really comfortable with this. Comfortable with the fact that we came in thermal, nothing outside, the trap when it dropped. We'll see outside the gate, but when the trap dropped, nothing out there, nothing with the thermal. And the number that we've had for at least a month now has been that 19-20 range. So really good with that. And for some of you, you're like, wow, that's a long time to watch a group of hogs. Everyone that we work for gets that. We're not trying to trap 4 hogs to get paid. We get paid to trap intelligently, not just flip the switch. And last night it was really tempting. I wasn't but 5 miles from here. The barber and I were on the phone. We just dropped on 22. And I was like, man, we can take them. The number wasn't there. I think last night it was like 16 or 18. It just wasn't there. And we were like, no, we're not going to do it. And so that's what we get paid for. So now the not so entertaining part, I guess, is, we gotta walk back to the Tacoma. We got to get it up here. And then we got to crank this thing up. It's not like we got to lift up a gate. So we're going to be here for a little bit. We're going to be watching the sun come up. So we're going to get them lined up already. We always text all of our customers. As soon as we get on property, we text. This property especially, a couple of the guys that work for the farmer, occasionally we'll go out and do some thermal stuff just during, planting season. They're not doing that now, but you just never know. It's always a safe practice to notify the landowner that we are on property, so there isn't any confusion about what's going on, or somebody's over here or we're over there. I mean, he knows we're here right now doing our thing. So we'll get them lined up, get a really good picture for the landowner, and go from there. And then we gotta get in the process of cranking the big girl back up. And we're going to swap out some batteries, do some maintenance, throw some corn on the ground, and really good morning here for us. So hang on. All right. Looks a little bit different in daylight, don't it? So we just got it cranked up. We feel like lazy hog trappers that we can actually drive right up to this trap. That's just, we would never put a trap here. Not permanently. This was just a temporary thing, just due to the situation between two major crop fields. Having to relocate our semi-permanent YagerPro trap due to some cattle situation and some land clearing. So we're kind of like almost starting all over on this property. I'm gonna buzz you around, kind of let you look at everything. Kind of makes a little bit more sense here in the daylight, and then we'll go from there. Hang on. Absolutely beautiful morning. Hard to be tired when it's this beautiful. We parked way back that way. There's a paved road back that way. And then we sneaked up through here. There's a 50-acre field right there. And then we cut down through here and then eased up here to the trap. So you can see we got it cranked up now. Structures over there. Saw that bright light earlier last night or early this morning. And then on the other side of that tree line is a massive crop field. And then we relocated our semi-permanent YagerPro trap probably about, I don't know, 1,000, 1,500 yards that way. They were actually in that trap once or twice, but they seem to be more into this trap for whatever reason. So anyway, you'll see how we got it kind of set up here. We've got our trailer, we got our winch. This is really, really easy for us. A little unusual, like I said. You got the truck backed right up, and then we're just gonna winch them straight out of here and up on the trailer. I would suggest if you end up buying one of these traps that when you're cranking it up, just get a ladder. We carry a ladder in all of our rigs. It just makes it a lot easier. And then we have these safety pins. I'm gonna zoom in on them right here. You can buy them at any tractor store, and they'll fit right in here. We like those kind of pins in there. And basically how they work is they get a little hole right here. So put your safety pins in. Right now it's being held by the winch. So we're in pretty good shape, and then I'm gonna come through and put the pins in. So let me get up underneath here, and then I'll give you a better view of what we got on the hog, since we do have some daylight now. All right, so there you go. There's that big old sow, and then there they are. So this particular Chief trap, we modified it, or Wyatt did, and we've actually got a mount that holds a on-time feeder. So that works out pretty good for us. We didn't put it on this operation. And again, this is gonna be, basically, we're probably gonna leave this trap up for about another week. We're gonna pull it, go back to our normal thing. But you can see here where clearly, this is where they gathered up in the video. They were all gathered up right here, because that's the direction they came from. And if you look over there, you can see there's a little water hole, and that's actually where our bait site's at. It's been here for years, but we've never put a trap here. So anyway, so we'll try to give you a little bit more footage now that we've kind of got everything up. Start pulling these things on the trailer. It's about 6:20, and you might wonder why I always tell you what time it is. It's because, you know, people might think that, hey, this is really cool, but then when you start looking at the hours and the time and then all of that, yeah, it ain't too cool. It's like a lot of guys, a lot of jobs, right? I think it's pretty neat until you actually got to do it. We've got it down to a science because we've done it so much that we can kind of expedite it. You know, winching, you think, well, what's the big deal dragging a couple hogs? Man, 1,000, 1,500 hogs a year is what we trap. And we don't need an injury, don't need a busting a tendon, a ligament, you know, something in your arms, your back, whatever. Winch them. I mean, that's just it is. Don't forget, you got to duck. So anyway, we're gonna enjoy this sunrise, and this is a good look right here. Peanut eaters, man, got to get them out of the equation. And the other thing you got to think about here is that this is a pretty big clear-cutted field. So this was pines, they clear-cutted it and they replanted it. For you out there in TV land that you're thinking like, well, you know, crop damage, it ain't just the crops. These little booger eaters are hell on these baby pine trees, because when that machine comes down through here and just kind of cuts a ditch and then they drop them trees in, the little hogs will come right behind that. And I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Duck, here we go, hold on. So there you go, you see that? All the way down through there. So for these people who plant trees, which to me, trees are crop, hogs are gonna be very devastating on planted pines. All right, so we're gonna get to it. We'll get back to you. Well, we got them all lined up. The boys do a better job of lining up hogs than I do. Probably because I'm just generally tired and want to get it over with. Anyway, took a couple pictures, shot them off to the landowner. We're gonna start loading them on the trailer. Quick maintenance here. We're just gonna dump a couple bags of corn out around the center post, swap the gate battery, jump on that live video battery, and we're gonna put it in the wind and head to the house. So we'll get back to you.